So what's going on today, guys, is we're playing the Commodore 64 game, River Raid. I just finished shooting all the videos for my MacWarrior 2 series, but they're going to take a lot of editing. It's quite a few missions. So to tide myself over and my adoring fans over, haha, I'm going to go ahead and do a fan request, which is River Raid. And I don't know, I was never really into this game that much when I was a kid. Revisiting it right now seems like a pretty solid game. I think this is an example of a game where gameplay comes first and the sounds and the graphics and everything else is second. And I think it's especially true because this was originally an Atari 2600 game and then it was ported to the Commodore 64. But I only played on the Commodore 64 myself, so I should probably play both at some point. The person who designed this game, Carol Shaw, made quite a bit of money off of it. And I believe it was the first game she programmed for Activision. And she was able to retire early, and it was primarily because of this game. So she just lived her best life, produce a top-selling blockbuster hit of a game, and retire. Anyway, I'm going to get started, and I'm not that great at this game, so we'll see how far I get, and... Whoa, 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 whoa. Just started taking off on my... What the... Oh, geez. What the heck is going on? Okay. Something really weird about my configuration there. Should be under control now. But yeah, this is a very basic shooter. Only thing you need to really consider is that you need to get fuel and then avoid the obstacles. Oof, like that. Ugh. And then each level is defined by the bridge. Because I guess that's kind of the storyline is... Oh man, this is my warm-up round, right? Told you I was bad at this game. Each level is defined by the bridge. So if you get to the end of the level, destroy the next bridge, but then die, you still make it to the next level when you respawn. Oof. I've heard this game described as having the perfect learning curve, where the early levels just kind of introduce you to how the game works, and then the later levels are what actually challenge you. I would agree. Also super satisfying to blow up the bridge when there's a tank on it. If I haven't made it clear, you can speed up and slow down. You can also curve your shots just a little bit. Which is pretty interesting. Because it kind of, your shots kind of move with your plane. Well, oh gosh. Takes a little bit of getting used to get these controls down again. It's a little bit stiffer than later shooters. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Alright. That was my warm-up round. Alright, here goes. You can also start on later levels, but I think it's a good idea to start on the beginning levels and then just earn more points and more extra lives so you last longer, maybe. Oof. And then this is one of those games where you can only have one bullet active on the screen at a time. So you can actually shoot really fast if every single one of your bullets hits. But if you miss, you have to wait for the bullet to disappear before you fire the next one. And I have a cat meowing at me, so hopefully that doesn't continue. Oof. Oh, jeez. Alright, and so you'll see I'll start on the next level, even though I died. I blew up the bridge first before I died. Oh, that was stupid. It's when I usually play in the morning. I have like a really deep voice in the morning because I've just woken up. I'm also, I suspect I'm probably not as good of a player in the morning, but I mean, not trying to make excuses. I don't need excuses to explain why I'm bad at games, but I did practice a little bit yesterday and I got as far as Bridge 19, so we'll see if I can get that groove going again. Oh, it's not going so well though. I used to get freaked out by those tanks shooting into the river like that. I think it, in a way, it was because it represented that I was getting up to the more difficult levels or something. Like, oh no, I got to the part where the tanks actually shoot. There are a lot of shooters for the Commodore 64, and some of them are really creative. This game's been making me think of Falcon Patrol, I think is what it's called. Ooh, got an extra life. That's gonna be a pretty interesting one to check out. Falcon Patrol? I think it's called Falcon Patrol. The hitboxes are actually pretty forgiving if I wasn't so bad. Like my plane definitely clipped that cliff and it's still fine. Yeah, that was a good level. Oh yeah, I got this. I got this. What now, son? What? Oh, jeez. Nice. I missed. Get the red helicopter. That was always used to freak me out too. You know the red helicopter's always the evil ones. Like in Fort Apocalypse, right? Oh. Running out of fuel. Yeah, every time I stop and think about the Commodore 64 library, I just get blown away. There's just so many weird, interesting games. I mean, River Raid's not even really far up there, but it's weird ones like O'Reilly's Well. I'll have to do that one another day. That'll be another good short one. Like, I still don't really understand it. Like, you like set off an explosion and then you go like dig out treasures, but all these weird monsters come up, but then the whole cave starts flooding. But it's like a single screen arcade style thing. I mean, it's just like, what is this game? Oh gosh, there's another one. Ooh. There's another one I just remembered. It's like so many games where I'm just like, what was that game really about? Gosh. I'll look this one up. There was one where you're like this guy. And I think your name is Sam the Jam Man or something. And, okay. Just died. And then I have a cat being annoying, so this is the perfect time for me to go deal with that. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, like, look this up. Oh my gosh. I blame my cat. Okay, Bridge 17. I'm gonna make one more go of it, I think. Yeah, like I think a character's name is like Sam the Jam Man. And like you work in a factory or something, but it's like making jam or something, and then like, but it's like leaking. I don't know how much of this is like a storyline that I made up to try to make this all make sense, or how much is actually like what's happening. But like, so the whole thing is that you go like stand underneath the dripping jam machine and just like eat it, and then you get like fatter and fatter. And so then you have to like go to a sauna to like lose your weight. And then eventually this like mouse comes and like tries to kill you. But then you get on this platform and it goes up and then comes back down and just like crushes the mouse. Like, what is this game? Like, who thinks of this stuff? But like, I think that was the cool thing about the Commodore 64 was whatever weird idea you had for a game, like, you could do it. Another one I was checking out yesterday, trying to figure out, like, did I miss something? Java Gym, that's actually gonna have to be a long one, because I'm gonna try to beat that dang game. But like, so you're this weird googly-eyed guy that bounces around this island that has a volcano. And you go around like digging holes and finding treasures, I guess. The graphics aren't like super good for that. And then between each, it's so hard to explain. These weird flesh-eating bugs will come out and you have to like go step on them before their eyes open. And then with the treasures that you collect, you're trying to trade them in to get money so you can buy like a vehicle or something, or parts to a vehicle to help you escape the island. It is so weird. And that's not even the full name of it. It's like Java Gym and Square Trouble or something. Or Trouble Squared, or I don't know what it is. Again, you're like, who comes up with this stuff? You see me slowing down a lot before these bridges. It's because eventually the tanks will start shooting you. Ugh. The tanks will start shooting, like if you blow up the bridge, the tanks will shoot down into the bridge area and kill you. So it behooves you to slow down and kill the tank. Yes, I used the word behoves, hopefully I used it correctly. Got an extra life. And then there's another game that this reminds me of, and that's Stealth, which I did not even remember the name of until recently. Doing some research for another video, and somebody was like, Stealth. I'm like, hmm? I look it up, and I'm like, oh, that game. Gosh, I had some weird ideas on that game too. You're like some sort of high-tech jet thing flying along on the ground for some reason. And then like, oh, see. And then you're trying to blow up this like black tower in the distance. I'm gonna have to revisit that one because my memory is not serving me very well on that one. Yeah, see, the tank stops after I blow up the bridge. And if I'm in front... Oh my god! How did I miss that many times in a row? Yeah, so if you're in front of the bridge, or in front of the tank, when the bridge is destroyed, it'll just shoot you down in the river. I don't think I've mentioned yet, but the slower you go, the more fuel you waste, actually. So there's a penalty, it's video game logic, there's a penalty to going slow. I think I had a request for Sea Fox at some point. I can figure out why that's popular. I vaguely remember that game. You're like a submarine or something. But yeah, in the vein of games that had more gameplay than graphics, you know. And I don't know, the Commodore 64 was in that sweet spot of the graphics were good enough to get the job done, but still weren't so good that people focused on the graphics before the gameplay. These get narrow. Extra life. I'm doing pretty good this time. Might get to my bridge 19 or whatever I got to that one time. That'd be my high score too. There's a game called, I'm just like randomly like spitting out like games that I remember. There was a game called Dragonfire, where you like run across a drawbridge into a castle and then like steal a bunch of treasure from a dragon that's shooting fire at you. Oh, what? There was a weird game called Save Me Goodnight or something. You're like a knight and you have to go break into a castle and kill some witches and then kill some dragons. Let's see, there's Puyon. Just spitting off random games. Puyon, you're like... What are you, like a pig with a crossbow and you're like shooting foxes? And then you're like suspended by this weird little elevator thing. Where do they come up with this stuff? And why does it work so well? Alright. Oh, oh geez, that was close. I don't know if I pointed out either, slower you go through a fuel reserve, the more fuel you get. Yeah, I thought that was gonna be a death. Bridge 21. I think I only got to 19 last time I played. I mean, not today, but yesterday. You know, the thing about this game is that there's nothing unfair about it. This is all skill. And it gets harder. As mentioned, the difficulty ramps up really well. I do not know how many levels there are. I would imagine it just loops anyway. Oops. Probably shouldn't have shot the fuel. There we go. Okay, and I got a cat being annoying. Okay. I am not happy with that cat. Why does the cat have to pound on the door when there's another door to go around? Who knows? But it cost me a life. Thank you, cat. Thank you. If I knew how to pause this game, it wouldn't have cost me a life, but I have no idea. Oh my gosh, no, another cat is howling. Well, might be about time for me to figure out how to pause. It's not space. Definitely not F1, because that starts you over. Alright, here's a quiet area. Just do the emulator pause. Sometimes I really hate my cats. Actually still might cause me a death because I had to go so... Ouch. I had to go so slow that I ran out of fuel. Or was running out of fuel, but then I crashed into the cliff anyway. Goodness. These are pretty narrow. Oh, I'm on level 27. That's pretty crazy. Oh. Alright, this is probably going to be about it. Oh, I'll honestly say this is the farthest I've ever gotten. I'll try not to be salty about the fact that my cats cost me a life. Possibly two. Oh, an extra life now. Oof. Like, going too slow to avoid it. Alright. Wow. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to get through that one. Alright, Bridge 28, I'm pretty happy with that. That's it. Thank you for watching. Definitely a pretty fun game, so give it a whirl. I imagine the Atari 2600 game isn't too much different, because, I mean, look at these graphics. These are not that great for the Commodore, so the Atari version is probably just as good. But that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.